Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like and subscribe. Become a member to the channel. It's like $3 a month. And leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Hey, look, listen. Turki Alalshikh fired Dana Whyte. Said Dana Whyte wouldn't call him His Excellency. Now that's the rumor, but I don't think that's the case. I think the real issue is that Dana Whyte has his own ideas of how Turki Alalshikh's boxing league should be ran. And the reason I feel that way is because old Dana Whyte said this.
18 months. I want to break the sport down and build it from the ground up.
He wants to break the sport down and build the sport back up. Listen.
Months. I want to break the sport down and build it from the ground up like we did the UFC.
Let me tell you something. Dana Whyte has a way he does business. But the issue here is Turki Alalshikh has a way he wants things done. I don't think Turki Alalshikh can tell Dana Whyte, do this, do that. I think Dana Whyte's like, look, it's cool for me to make another $1 billion. It's cool for me to make another $100 million. But I don't need it because I'm already a billionaire. And if you're not going to let me run this thing the way I run it, I want to run it. Get out of here. You already held my hand. I already let you get away with holding my hand. I'm supposed to be Dana Whyte, the boss at the UFC, the toughest, was it the combat fighting league out there? Not boxers, not taekwondo, not judo guys. The guys who get into UFC, these guys are mixed martial artists who do it all. I'm supposed to be leading these tough guys. How the hell I let you hold my hand? What you want to grab on next? One thing for sure, Turki Alalshikh ain't trying to let Dana Whyte come in there and do what he wants. Now, the thing is this. You got to understand Dana Whyte and also Turki Alalshikh. I think the number one issue is Dana Whyte's always competed with boxing. I don't know if it's something he wanted to do, if he didn't want to do it, but it's something that has been a reality. To think Dana Whyte is going to come down and put boxing over the UFC, especially a Mexican Independence Day weekend, no, that's not going to happen, man. Canelo and Crawford supposed to be on the 12th. Supposed to be at, I think, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Now it's not going to be at that venue because Dana Whyte has a huge event going on the 13th. So Dana Whyte, y'all really think Dana White's going to sit there, man, and support a boxing event over his UFC shit? Are you crazy? Won't happen. I think even Turki Alalshikh realized, you know what, it's a huge conflict of interest, and I don't even want to deal with this issue because I think it's already started snowballing. Where Dana Whyte is like, all right, I'm going to have to wear a couple of hats here, and one I don't have to wear. I'm voluntarily putting this hat on to help this guy out because there's a huge financial gain for me, but really I don't need it. I'm a billionaire. So why would I come now with someone who's trying to take over all the combat sports and have a boxing event that's conflicting with UFC fights, right? Why would I come down and get behind that shit? Nah. Now, if the UFC event was 3 weeks later or something, Dana Whyte would probably been all in if he couldn't have secured the dates for Mexican Independence Day weekend. But that's not the case. So anyway, Dana White's no longer promoting Crawford and Canelo as Sailor. But I think that's just the beginning of the end between the relationship between Turki Alalshikh and Dana Whyte. Now, the other thing I think is Dana White's like, look, I'm used to making money out here. I'm used to my events doing pretty damn good. I can't come now and roll the dice with my name, my brand, my reputation, right? And get behind a Canelo Crawford fight. When you look at Canelo and when he's fought boxers, I'm sure Dana White's saying, Canelo's not fighting a Miguel Cotto. He's not fighting an Artur Beterbiev. He's not fighting a guy who would fight like a Felix Trinidad. Like, he's not in there with a De La Hoya type fighter. He's going up there against Crawford. And what I'm saying is, Canelo's not going to meet somebody who's going to look for the mash-up, crash-up. It's not going to be fireworks going off in that ring. Crawford is a boxer. When Canelo's faced Mayweather put the bing bings on him. But when he faced Lara, that was a stinker. Mayweather and Canelo wasn't a stinker. He fought Jermell Charlo recently. That was a stinker. He fought School. That was a stinker. So when you look at Canelo, for the most part, outside of the Mayweather fight, when he faced, no kidding, boxers, guys who really didn't want to engage him, those were horrible. And for Dana White to look at what just happened with School and know Terrence Crawford, he gets in there with Canelo, he may have all the confidence in the world. But if Canelo hits him with one of the Guadalajara, Jalisco bing bings, Crawford may head for the goddamn hills. And you're talking about millions of dollars that could be lost there. And Dana White's like, you ain't gonna put my name behind that, a boxing event that failed as far as pay-per-view numbers, as far as viewership, as far as everything, and say the first event I promoted that, it flopped. You're not gonna put that on me. Dana White's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's got a smart team. And he's not stupid. He's been doing this for a while. I really think that has a lot to do with it. In addition to, I'm going to read you guys something. In addition to this right here, where is it? I'm gonna share something with y'all. Where is it? Right here. The fact that UFC has a pay-per-view deal with ESPN, where they receive the monetary equivalent of 600,000 buys from ESPN on every pay-per-view card. That's a lot of money. There's no way ESPN is going to allow the UFC/TKO to put events on that will conflict and take away viewership with their current TV deal. UFC, Dana White, TKO is over there with Turki Alalshikh. UFC ESPN deal ends in 2025. Don't expect any co-promotions with Ring or Riyadh or anything until that's over. UFC never co-promotes after they got burned by Pride. The TKO and Turkey idea of promoting is going to be a complex web, especially if they try to do this in the U.S. So when you take all that into consideration, I'm not surprised that if the relationship hasn't been terminated, that as far as Turkey and Dana working together for Dana to promote huge boxing events, if that hasn't been put on pause. Because at the end of the day, I'll tell you something else. Dana White, it's like he said here, right? Dana White said, and remember, these aren't my words.
I want to break the sport down and build it from the ground up like we did the UFC.
He wants to break the sport down and build it from the ground up. First of all, Dana White knows he can't fucking do that, okay? But it sounds good. But the fact that he's saying that, how you going to break down the sport of boxing and build it back up like you did the UFC? That's going to take time, right? Does Turki Alalshikh have that kind of time on his hands? Turki Alalshikh's on the clock, baby. Y'all know that, right? You know he talked about his medical issues and all that. I think he's been able to get a bit of a Band-Aid fix on some of that shit. But I still think Turki Alalshikh isn't quite out the clear quite in the clear when it comes to his medical challenges. So Turki Alalshikh, Dana White has time to try to turn things around in boxing, which don't know what he's going to do. But Turki Alalshikh doesn't have the time. And plus Turki Alalshikh is like, shit, I got this wallet here. I write the check, I want it to happen now. So Dana White, I understand you have a vision, but I need you to do this now. Here's the money, make it happen now. And Dana White can't do that. So I think when you look at the time constraints as well, that's an issue. Okay? So the bottom line here with what Dana White thought he could do with boxing, build it from the ground up and all these ideas they had, I just think it sounded good. But I don't think any of that should have been disclosed to the public. I think it should have been remained behind the scenes and just thrown up there on the whiteboard. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to see what happens in the future. I just know for me, I just think it's kind of, mysterious that, Dana White isn't promoting the TKO boxing event like they were initially saying. It's like, mysteriously, he's been removed from promoting the event. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a whole lot that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I'm always talking about the secret society, the key decision makers behind the scenes, and everybody else involved. And I'm telling you right now, man, that fight, Crawford and Canelo, taking place on the 12th, that shit's not happening at Alalshikh Stadium anymore. They're still trying to keep it on the 12th, but they're trying to find a different location. So I don't think the event's going to be canceled, but I don't know what's going to happen with the location. I think Vegas was the perfect spot for it, but to have the UFC and boxing that same weekend have something going on, great for Las Vegas, but bad for both of them because one event's going to suffer. Fans are going to have to choose as far as where they want to spend their money going to see the events, unless you just got diehards that's willing to spend all their money on the boxing and the UFC. For most people at home, they watch both of them at no cost. Just being real, Fire Sticks and streaming, and there's so many other platforms where you could watch the fight at no cost. But some people still pay. But the bottom line is, when they want butts and seats, that's where they're going to have trouble, because not everybody can go out there to Vegas and spend $1,000 to go watch a boxing event, and another $1,000 to go watch the UFC shit. You know what I mean? And even if they're spending $100 or $50 to go and get a seat way up there in the goddamn nosebleed stands, most people have shit to do, man. Okay, so anyway, we'll see how it goes. I am a little bit surprised that it's not working out the way that they kind of proposed. But I do think when you're trying to put shit on the same day, it's just not going to work out, man. And everybody has questions about Dana White's involvement right now, but Turki Alalshikh posted it, man. He said, hey, the promoter, Crawford and Canelo, is no longer Dana White. It's going to be Sella. And Sella alone has no vested interest in either one. Anyway, more to come on Turki Alalshikh. We know when Turkey's in the house every day is Thanksgiving. His relationship with Dana White, Crawford Canelo, is it still going to happen on the 12th? Is it going to be in a different location? Hey, maybe that information's out there and I just didn't see it. But I do think it's interesting that Dana White has pulled out. But I've been fired or whatever happened. But what I will tell you is, I know for a fact Dana White may not be saying this shit to Turkey. I know when he's sitting there talking to his guys, he's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do this shit. That Canelo looked horrible against School. We can blame School all we want. But what Canelo showed us in that fight, Canelo showed us that he wasn't going to sit there and be aggressive and chase somebody down, because no matter what happens, he's going to make his $100 million. And that's how I took it. Where Canelo's like, F it, I'm going to get $100 million. It's not, whatever happens here, I just let this guy run. He's making the fight easy for me. I basically sit here and do a cartwheel in the ring and get myself $100 million. I don't have to do shit. Everyone's looking at this guy blaming him. I'll make it look like I'm chasing after him a little bit, but really, I'm going to get $100 million just for in here, taking it to the stupid. I blame School 100%. I do. But I also recognize in Canelo that he knows, I got this guaranteed money. I ain't going to come out here and stress myself out for a guy who's making it easy for me to cha-ching, ching, Wu-Tang cream and get this money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's see what happens with Crawford and Canelo. I'm telling you right now, Crawford better fight. He better fight. And he's going to have to look out for Canelo's landing them big-ass shots. But he better fight him. Better not come in there and get hit once and start running. Fight him. Go out on your shield if you have to. We'll respect you a lot more, Crawford, if you get knocked out. Just fucking fight him. Don't be like these other guys that run. Don't do that. Fight Canelo. If you knock him out, the reward was worth the risk of standing in there and exchanging gunfire with him. But if you fucking run, I'm telling you, people are going to sit there, man, and shred your ass. Because most people feel that Crawford shouldn't be going up to 168 anyway. And talk shit about Jamel Charlo. Don't get in there and turn into Shakir Stevenson and become a boxer runner, because Canelo put the Guadalajara and Jalisco bing bings on your ass. Put them Nebraskan bing bings on Canelo. Give us a fight, win, lose, or draw. Canelo's making 150 million. Crawford, my understanding, is making like 100 million. Fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Fight. They're going to pay you that kind of money. I just turned 50 the other day. I got all kind of shit wrong with me physically and mentally. I'm a little crazy. But yo, you gonna pay me 100 million? Yo, I will not only fight Crawford and Canelo back to back, win, lose, draw, I don't give a fuck. Then I'm gonna go jump in the river with man-eating crocodiles butt naked and swim across that motherfucker. I'm gonna give you entertainment. And if I survive all that, I got my 100 goddamn million. And I'm chilling. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breaks.